Well, I think you're exactly right, Gina, and it's great to be with you this morning and appreciate the opportunity to join with you. We've been talking about for months now through putting together this reconciliation package of some of the things we needed to do to reform some of these programs like Medicaid that just really has put itself on a trajectory, or Congress has allowed it to be put on a trajectory to where it's eventually going to cost $1 trillion. And that's just not sustainable. And so unless we are able to make some reforms that are going to put it in a different position where we really can use it for the safety net that Medicaid was meant to be all along. And it was meant to take care of the elderly, of the disabled, of pregnant women, of children. And unfortunately, because of the expansion of it, it's gotten out of hand. And so obviously there's things that have got to be done in adjustments going forward. But we moved the big, beautiful bill out of the House because we think it's important. And I realize the CBO's, analysis that they brought forward, they've been wrong so many times. I mean, listen, back in 2017, they said that President Trump's tax cut, the one that we just now made permanent, that it was going to somehow only generate half of what it actually generated in terms of growth in the economy. And so they're not notorious for being very accurate oftentimes in their predictions. But nevertheless, we've got to look at this big, beautiful bill as something that if we don't pass, is going to be a massive tax increase for all Americans. It includes making the Trump tax cuts permanent, and we've got to make sure that we do that in order to spur this economy. We've got some things coming up to the Hill already here, just arrived the first of this week from the Office of Management and Budget that is going to actually allow us to have a rescission package to begin to cut out the waste, fraud, and abuse that Doge has identified. And I've been all week talking about this and encouraging Congress to move swiftly to pass this rescission package the White House has set up.
You know, Congressman, I feel like the two headlines that have just been dominating this news cycle have been the one big, beautiful bill and the Autopen scandal. So I got to get your take on this. I want you to weigh in. The Trump administration has ordered an investigation into Joe Biden's cognitive decline, this Autopen use. They want to see if anyone tried to impersonate him at the end of his term. House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer says he wants to interview Biden's staffers. Comer says that he sent several letters already to several former aides and added that the American people do deserve to know the truth on this. So your take, what do you make of all of this? Where is the accountability, and what do you anticipate we're going to find in this investigation?
Well, I really don't know what we're going to find, but I'm certainly confident that Congressman Comer and the Oversight Committee are taking the right steps. I mean, listen, it's very concerning when you have a president of the United States whose abilities, cognitive abilities have certainly been called into question. And to think of this Autopen, I mean, it begs the obvious questions. What executive orders, what pardons were signed with the presidential Autopen that he didn't even know about? And so it certainly, I think, deserves investigation. We have a situation from Fayetteville, North Carolina, where there was a gang member whose sentence was actually commuted. And the guy's name is Genesis Whitted. And according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, he was found guilty in October. He and his associates were involved in drug trafficking, home invasion robberies, hijackings, shootings, and financial fraud. And yet his sentence was reduced by an Autopen. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's worth investigating and finding out, because the American people should be concerned about this.
It absolutely should be investigated, Congressman. That's a great point. And Pam Bondi will be on top of this, we hope. Congressman, President Trump says he wants to get rid of the debt limit. He posted on Truth Social the following: "I'm very pleased to announce that after all of these years, I agree with Senator Elizabeth Warren on something. The debt limit should be entirely scrapped to prevent an economic catastrophe. It is too devastating to be put in the hands of political people that may want to use it despite the horrendous effect it could have on our country and indirectly even the world." As to Senator Warren's second statement on the $4 trillion, I like that also, but it would have to be done over a period of time as short as possible. Let's get together, Republican and Democrat, and do this. Congressman, what is the mood on this in the House?
Well, listen, I think that everybody would share in the same concerns about scrapping the debt limit without any guardrails and without any real reduction in cuts in spending. That's the general concern. I mean, listen, government has proven itself. Congress has proven itself. You read the Constitution, all of those spending bills are supposed to originate in the House. And the fact of the matter is that we've proven ourselves to spend and spend and spend us up to nearly $37 trillion of debt. Listen, to not have any kind of limit is like giving a credit card to a gambling addict, an unlimited credit card, and say, hey, go knock yourself out. We can't do that. And I think that we've got to think about if there is a plan. Listen, I don't question the motivation of the president because he is correct. It has been used as a political tool. It's been used for political leverage. It's been used to get things accomplished that one side wanted to do over the other, depending on who was in power at the time. And that's sad, but true. But I think just to scrap it without some kind of guardrails, some kind of spending cuts would not be wise. And I personally don't think there's a stomach for that here in the U.S. House.
Congressman, the White House sent over some of the Doge cuts to the House to make them permanent. Where do we stand on a vote for those?
Oh, listen, I went to the House the first night we got back from the Memorial Day break and urged my colleagues to pass this rescission package immediately. Listen, it's $9.4 billion. And the thing that it does is it really puts into law or codifies what Doge was identifying early on. In fact, some of my constituents have said, why such a small amount, $9.4 billion, when there are hundreds of billions they've identified? Well, I think this is, again, just a start. This is really to test the water and make sure that Congress is ready to step up and do what we all said we were going to do. And if you remember, it wasn't too many weeks back when Doge was just getting started. Elon Musk was in his role. And as we began to see the first information that came out about USAID, and we began to see all of the massive spending that they were doing and where that money was going, Americans were appalled. And they said, something's got to be done. This has got to be stopped. And I just had the opportunity to look over the list again the other day. And when you look and you see the millions of dollars that are being spent in the ways they are going, it is disastrous. So this really targets those USAID aspects. I think about $8 billion plus, give or plus, give or minus some of it, is in this rescission package, the U.S. aid. And then the other part is going to NPR and those kind of things to make cuts there. Because frankly, taxpayers are not in the business of trying to uphold or somehow come alongside and make left-wing propaganda able to operate. And that's really what we've been doing with NPR and PBS. And this is an opportunity for us to straighten that out. And I think the other billion, give or take some, makes up the balance of the $9.4 billion that we have.
Yeah, and this is really just a start. Congressman, we appreciate you coming on, telling us all about this, and we appreciate your fight. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you.